I'm Chronix, and this is Crystal from the Most Extreme Wrestling. And this is your John Morrison weekly update. First of all, John Morrison was in the PWI Magazine.
Right.
And that was...
Oh, go ahead.
That was awesome. And he was... John Morrison and Melina went to the Kayfabe college.
Right.
They showed up, giving back to the wrestling community. You see, they're still involved with wrestling.
I mean, that's true. They haven't gotten away from wrestling. They're not really even taking a break. I find that odd. His big thing was, I'm taking a break, yet he's wrestling. He's visiting wrestling schools.
He's doing signings.
I find this all very interesting.
It is very interesting.
And confusing.
Yes, it is confusing, but I guess that's why we have this update. WWE.com will once again post an article with the words, well, not John Morrison, but just Morrison.
It was basically a propaganda puff piece by WWE talking about how The Miz is now the most, untrustworthy partner, I guess. He's turned on all his partners and eventually...
Like Alex Riley.
Yeah, like eventually...
And R-Truth and John Morrison.
And it's just kind of saying that, he usually does better when he's in a pair, but yet he's always betraying people. Kind of talking about that. You know, they just kind of mentioned Morrison. Wasn't like he was a huge part of the article or anything, but it did mention him.
It's true. But he's staying fresh in the minds of everyone, apparently.
Yeah, they didn't wipe him from the list. Which they could have, because it was kind of a long list, and I think they mentioned him first.
Well, I don't know about that.
I'm not sure.
I know that the TNA fans, I know that they're just leaning over their keyboard, sweating bullets. The very thought of John Morrison going over there and reigniting the flame of the X Division. But you know what? I don't think that's going to happen. You know why? Because I believe he's about the money, as we are about the money. And, you know, WWE, for the most part, is about the money. But when it comes to John Morrison, they seem to have missed the boat. They missed the flight with John Morrison. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because, you see, it was like, first of all, the merchandise. I mean, seriously.
It was not appropriate to the target audience of John Morrison.
I know.
There was no stuff for women that was really any good.
I know, because I know women wear T-shirts. They do, but they do not wear T-shirts to the degree that like men do. I'll get to that. But T-shirts, all right?
Yeah, that's true. Women don't wear T-shirts with like everything. Like I currently am not wearing a T-shirt. When I go out with my husband on a date, I do not wear a T-shirt. 98% of the time.
I'm telling you, I had this idea. It was something that they should have capitalized on. It's one of the target markets.
Chronic's a brilliant idea.
Brilliant idea. Since women is a huge demographic for John Morrison potential merchandise.
I would agree with that. But WWE doesn't know how to market to women very well.
I know, but think of this. You got John Morrison's pants. Everybody wishes they could have his pants, right? Yeah. The cool designs,
I wish you could have his pants.
The little fuzzy things and all that, and little crosses and this and that. Yeah. Okay, well, that'd probably be way too expensive to have on clothing, right?
You got crosses on your pants.
That's true, I do. But, you see, the thing is, they could have capitalized this, and it's because women, they love pajamas. Make pajamas with those designs on them. You could sell them for $20, and they could even wear them in public, because women always wear that stuff in public. Not always, but they do. But first of all, I mean, and we're talking about, look, crosses. You can use crosses on everything, right?
That's right.
You could absolutely do it. And it's not like that they could say, oh, well, you cannot use these crosses anymore, John Morrison, when you leave. You can't, because look, they're right here. I got them right here.
And you're showing your butt to the internet?
I'm telling you. Look at this. This was the latest attempt of WWE trying to sell it. And yes, this shirt was worn by John Morrison and thrown to us in that sign, and it was great.
It doesn't really smell anymore. It's very disappointing.
But anyways, first of all, what is this? I have no idea. What is Bigfoot? Is he supposed to be elusive because we never see him, and when we do see him he gets beat, so they just plaster his face on there?
I didn't get that shirt.
And look. Homo sapiens.
There's monkeys on the shirt.
What does that mean?
I suppose this could be targeted to women because most women love monkeys. I don't like monkeys. I think they're ugly and they stink. But most women like monkeys.
I thought possibly that this was embodying
Maybe it was a weak effort. I
thought it was embodying the future evolution of John Morrison, but the future evolution was nothing. I don't remember John Morrison ever explaining what a Homo sapien was, or we're going to eat your lunch. I'm still trying to figure out what that means. I have no idea.
Right.
A futile attempt
So
at merchandise.
yeah, your point
think
is that WWE mistreated John Morrison
No, I think
while he was in the company.
they
missed opportunities to make money.
They missed opportunities to make money. They missed
With
opportunities to put him over.
Right.
You had Michael Cole accentuating the positive, saying, "Oh, well, you know, he's a parkour master and everything," and I thought that was a good thing.
But it was Michael Cole.
It was Michael Cole. That is not a viable person to hear things from.
But back in the day, didn't we have Vince McMahon, the heel announcer guy, putting over Shawn Michaels?
He wasn't the heel announcer.
He wasn't? I figured he was a heel.
No, it was Jerry the King Lawler who was the heel.
Oh, that's right.
But he did put him over. That is a good point. You had an announcer putting over the talent that people pretty much respected.
I can't erase him for being a heel in my mind.
Yeah, but he was pretty much a good guy then.
Okay.
So the announcers aren't putting him over, saying, "Look."
Because it was only Michael Cole.
Yes, only Michael Cole. But look, you gotta have the announcers out there talking about how this is a guy who can do things physically that no one else can.
This is true.
Something that they really didn't do. And when they did do it, they only did it for like a month or two.
True.
They didn't say all the things that they needed to say.
I mean, when he would do something cool, they would say it. Like at the Royal Rumble when he did the thing.
Yeah, but that was just one instance.
But they wouldn't say it on a regular basis.
They wouldn't make it known that this is something special that you're seeing.
That's true.
And that is a bad thing.
That's true.
WWE has had a problem with their talent of not accentuating the positives.
Like with Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, with Daniel Bryan, and hiding the negatives. It's something that Paul Heyman said. It's like, you imagine like the talent, the number one talent that he used this on was Rob Van Dam.
He sucked.
No.
By the way.
No, he accentuated the positives and hides the negatives. You can only see the negatives now because it's been so long.
I guess.
But back in the day...
every time I watch Rob Van Dam, I'm like, really? He was big?
But I'm telling you...
The dude flops around like a fish. I'm just saying.
You're missing the point.
I know. The point is that because they accentuated the positives and hid the negatives, like him flopping around in the ring like a fish, they put him over, unlike what WWE does, which is accentuate the negatives and hide the positives.
It's like, okay, well maybe the guy's not the greatest on the microphone. Hide it! My God, he can do things in the ring that no one else can. Why don't you focus on that?
Didn't have to talk.
Exactly. WCW even accentuated the positive and hides the negatives by not having Goldberg talk. As soon as Goldberg walks into WWE, he starts talking, and guess what? He goes straight down to nothing.
It's true.
That is the issue. That is the problem.
They could have Morrison been a mute genius or something.
A mute, awesome, yeah. I mean,
he could express himself through flipping rather than talking. I don't know if that's a good idea.
There was so many things that they could have done, but they did not do. And I feel that is some of the reasons why he's not there. Obviously, there's the injury issue. Obviously, there's the issue of maybe the travel was too much.
Yeah, because he says he wanted some spiritual healing. And I guess even though he's not taking a break from completely wrestling, he isn't traveling every week. He isn't... You know, I guess point is he could be but maybe while still staying strong to come back.
But he could have been so much stronger.
Sharp.
He could have been so much higher in star power level if they would have done these things.
I mean, I still think they might have been punishing him.
They could have.
I mean, that might have been part of the problem.
But that's stupid. That's not good for business. That's not good for money. And we know that that's what WWE is for, and they shouldn't be doing things that would inhibit them from generating money.
Despite the fact that people keep saying that, you know, WWE punishes people and stuff, I would think, historically, with me, from what I know, looking back, that Vince McMahon really doesn't have a history of punishing people for making him mad as long as they can bring in the cash.
Yeah. And I mean, even people like Triple H,
even people that, like, really screwed him over. Like, really a lot.
Like Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Ric Flair.
Yeah.
Well, not so much Ric Flair.
No, not as much.
But Hulk Hogan.
I'm just saying, like, really a lot. Like, a lot more than just dissing Trish Stratus.
Yeah, like the whole NWO.
I'm just thinking...
Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, Hulk Hogan, he brought all those guys back like that.
So I'm just thinking that maybe that was total crap to begin with, because it doesn't really follow with the thinking.
It's possible.
That was just a thought that entered my mind just now.